Hey guys, for those who don't know me, I'm Gabriel Lorenzi, creator of the Grupo Dicas, the world's largest travel content network, and today we're gonna talk about San Diego. It's my favorite city in California, not most people's. Many people like to go to Los Angeles or San Francisco, but I'm in love with San Diego. We've been there a few times, and I decided to make this video with the main tips and everything you need to do to make the most out of your trip there. So let's go guys, without further ado, buckle up! Well, first of all, San Diego is in the southernmost part of California, practically next to Mexico in Tijuana, a Mexican city. So here's the good thing, it's the warmest city in California, the one with the most pleasant climate. So for those looking for a beach, San Diego ends up being the best option. From the Angeles, going up there are nice beaches, the climate is good, but once you start going up there, you get close to San Francisco and the water is very cold. The climate is much colder. You also have the great white shark. It's not such a good place anymore, so most people who want to enjoy the beach, surfers who go to California, end up focusing a lot on this area of San Diego, which is the most suitable for swimming, surfing, and walking along the beach, guys. So if you're looking for some beach time, this is definitely the best place of all. And a tip, if you're going to do the whole coast of California, which is an incredible trip, we've already done it, go from San Francisco to San Diego, because then you see the sea, you see the most beautiful part of the road. If you drive up for San Diego, it's fine too, but you already be on the inside of the highway. The view isn't that beautiful, you can stop, take pictures, and enjoy the sea view. It's a tip if you can, but don't despair if you've already drawn up an itinerary. Keep it that way, and you can do it without any problem at all, guys. This is just an addendum. So let's go. How many days to stay in San Diego? I think the minimum is 3 days because it's such a big city. There's plenty to do, and I think it's good to set aside a day for shopping, which I'm going to tell you about here. So I think 3 days, ideally about 5, so you can really enjoy the city and get the most out of it. If you can stay longer, wonderful. We spent 30 days on an exchange program when we first came to the United States. We were 20 years old a long time ago. It was a sensational experience. We were able to really enjoy this experience of San Diego life, which is very cool. San Diego, unlike Los Angeles and San Francisco, is more of a beach town with older residents. It's one of the cities with the highest numbers of the retirees in the United States, retirees with money. So it's a region with one of the best qualities of life in the United States, and it has a very good vibe, a very organized, beautiful city. Where to stay there, this is an important tip, and of course I'm gonna give you all the details for it. Try to find a more centralized region because there are several areas. There's La Jolla, which is near the beach and is a wealthier part of the city. It's beautiful. We stayed there once to stay near the beach. It's the best place of all, but it has fewer hotel options and it's much more expensive. The area we recommend is the center, the Gaslamp Quarter. It's a very touristy area. There are lots of good restaurants at night, there are bars, it gets busy. It's a very nice area, and there are plenty of hotels to choose from. Hotels in California are not cheap. In San Diego, it's still a little cheaper than San Francisco and Los Angeles, which are a bit more expensive, but San Diego is still a bit expensive compared to the other cities, so do your research. I'm going to give you some strategies for saving money on accommodation, but try to stay in this area, which is the coolest. To make it easier, this map you're looking at is personalized. We created it, customized it for you within a hotel search engine, which is the one we use to make all our reservations. It's been around for years. It's the biggest in the world, and I'm sure you know it too, and everything is already organized. It's there for you to open. I'll leave this link below in the video description. Click on it and you see the link to the map. Then you open the map, close the map, put in the date of your trip, search, and set the map to show again. This same map will open with the region marked out with the hotels already priced for your trip. Then you can look around, see the hotel reviews, the prices, and you're sure to find a good option. And of course, we're gonna give you an amazing tip for you to save a lot on your hotel and your accommodations in San Diego. A very important tip for saving a lot on hotels, especially in California where the prices are high, is to book in advance. The earlier you book, the cheaper you pay. As time goes by, 1, 2, 3 weeks, the hotels automatically raise their prices because people book up and there are fewer rooms left. So what's the tactic we've been used for a long time and which works very well? Book as soon as possible. You know you're going on a trip, and if you see a good one, you book it. But so that you don't have the hassle of having to cancel and pay a fine, we use a very good website that's the largest hotel search engine in the world. I'm sure you know it. It's these hotel links below in the best region. It's all in this search engine we use. And what's the big deal? It has a very good deal with almost all the hotels for free cancellation. So you've seen there's a free cancellation with most of them have. Book now and guarantee a good price. After a month or two and you need to cancel, change the side of the room or whatever you need to change or cancel, you can do it free of charge, but you're already guaranteed the lower price that you had at the time. If you don't, you see that prices are really going up very quickly. The dollar isn't cheap, so it's a tactic we've been using for a long time and we managed to save a lot with it. And when you click on the link to the hotels that I've left here in the cities we stayed in so that you can try to find a place to stay, it may open a page with several hotels. This research is already showing a list. This is the first hotel. It's supposed to open directly the hotel page, but sometimes there's a bug and it might open a list of all the hotels. But if that happens, just click on the first one. That's the one we are recommending. Now let's talk about safety in California. We like to talk about everything here and be very transparent. California is going through some laws. It changed government. The Democrats took over 2 years ago. They've created a new law that you can't go to jail for up to $1,000 stolen. It's not a crime. This generated a huge wave. We've probably seen several videos on Instagram showing people breaking into stores, taking things up to $1,000 and then running out. This has caused a lot of stores to close down and security there has been tightened up. There are a lot of homeless people here in the United States. In both New York and California, you see a lot of homeless people. Don't be impressed because it's normal. They have a pension from the government anyway. Apparently, that's the situation. But as a tourist and as people, I found it very peaceful. We've just come back from this weekend and I thought it was super easy. You do see some homeless people in some of the more remote areas, but the tip is stay in the central areas we're showing you here. Go straight to the sites. Don't explore the city and stay alert. Don't leave anything in the car. There are those people who go with their bags and leave their bags on the ground and go around the corner to take pictures of the statue, the Golden Gate, and then come back. You keep everything close to you, on your bag, zipped up. You keep an eye on things because there's practically no such thing here as mugging, getting to you. There's theft, that's what there is, so just stay tuned, just like any big city. But I feel very comfortable there now and I haven't seen any problems with security. But of all the cities, San Diego, in theory and from our experience, is the safest of them all, the one with the lowest crime rate. It's a slightly more organized city in that sense, so you really don't have to worry about it. How do you get around San Diego? This is important information. San Diego is a big city. It's spread out. Unlike some cities where everything is centralized and you can get around on foot, their things are a bit spread out. So a car helps a lot in getting around. In fact, if you're going to drive through California, passing through several cities, a car is essential. There's not much other way to do it. But if you're only going to San Diego, do you need a car? Not as necessity. You can manage with Uber, a cab. It's a bit expensive, but you can manage. Now, if you already have a car because you're traveling to the other beaches and cities, it really helps. I'm going to give you some tips on how to save money on car rental, and an important tip for those renting a car: you'll find it so much cheaper. You don't go straight to the car rental companies. You use a website, an incredible website that we discovered years ago. We use it a lot. I'll leave the link down here in the video description. It's a car rental comparison website. It compares the prices of all the main car rental companies on the market and finds the best prices, incredible deals, and cheaper prices than the rental companies themselves, because they are giants and have very strong negotiation power. They all want to have the cheapest price in order to appear first to the customers and generate more bookings. So use the website. We've used it again. We always use it and it's the cheapest place without a doubt. So try to prioritize the big rental company, guys. We always try to focus the big rental companies because you have Alamo Aviz, Budgets, Dollar, Thrift, Six. They're all very good. They're big. Try to avoid the small small ones, as sometimes it's cheaper, but there's a bit of a headache later on. Then you get to the airport, rent the car quickly. It took us about 20 minutes to do everything, to get the key, take the car and leave, but it's very easy. Use the comparator and you will like it. And in California, a car is really important for visiting the beaches, the coast, San Diego, San Francisco, the wineries in Napa. There are many places where the car is very important. And now, before I get into the tours and things to do, I'm going to talk about shopping. I know we love shopping, especially when we come to the United States. We live here in Orlando in the United States. Here the prices are very good. In California, San Diego was the city I liked the most for shopping. I found it the cheapest, the most advantageous, and with the most options. And there was one place that was incredible, the San Diego outlet. I'll put the name right here so you can find it. But it's on the border with Mexico, right on the border. We even had a 10th story because we missed the entrance to the outlet and ended up on the border. And it's all a bit military. There's control of the street between Mexico and the United States. Thank God we talked, the policeman understood, we turned around and went back. So be careful not to cross into Mexico, but it's inside San Diego. Everything's fine. It's an incredible outlet. There are hundreds of stores, all the ones you can imagine looking for: Lacoste, Tommy, Calvin Klein, the most luxurious brands, Zara, H&M, lots of nice brands. It's an excellent outlet and the prices are very good. There are also other shopping centers in San Diego. Go to Google Maps. There are 3 very nice and large ones. Search there, see which one is closest, the stores that have them, but there are also nice options for you to go within the city. And guys, an important tip for all of California, and this goes for all the cities as we use cars a lot: cell phones are extremely important. It has to have a working signal. Without the internet, you can't use Waze, Google Maps, and that helped us a lot. At a short notice to book a winery, a beach, research something different, an attraction, what time it closes or opens. Cell phones are very important on this California trip, especially nowadays everywhere, but for this California trip, it's more about the car. I think it's more important. So you have everything ready, you have everything organized, so you can use the internet. For us, the easiest, coolest, and the most advantageous way is the international prepaid SIM card that some companies sell. There's a very good one that we still use today. It works perfectly everywhere. There's the eSIM, which sends you a QR code by email. You can install it straight away if your phone is already compatible. You don't even need a physical chip, and you arrive in the United States, activate it, live it with unlimited internet. Take a look at the description, take a look at the chip. It's very good and works super well when you need it. Otherwise, you end up getting lost on the beaches, in the vineyards, and in all the attractions on the whole California. And another very important service, taking advantage of the fact that's really important, it's international travel insurance. Don't travel outside your country without travel insurance. It's very cheap, cheaper than people think. There's one that we get that sometimes gives about $4 a day and covers you with more than $30,000 of medical assistance if you have a problem, if you're hospitalized. And here in the United States, the price of things is absurd. A doctor's visit, a hospitalization, so get insurance, which is very cheap, but don't travel abroad without it. And I'll leave the link to the travel insurance comparator below in the video description. It's an incredible website that we use that's just like the car insurance comparator. It compares the prices of all insurance companies. They beat the prices, guys. I'm not kidding. Compare, searching travel agencies directly on these other websites and compare with the comparator. It sometimes finds it for half the price and it's reliable. A huge company, good service. So take a look. We always use them, but don't leave the country without one because it's so cheap and it saves you a lot of problems you could have on your trip, especially in California where you'll be driving a lot. There are state parks, beaches, wineries, amusement parks, so it ends up being super important. And now let's start the long list of things to do in San Diego. There are lots of cool things to do. The first one that I think was really cool that surprised us was Coronado Island. Coronado Island, it's an island connected by a very beautiful bridge. And if you're driving the journey, not the journey because it's very quick, you can walk over it. It's very beautiful, it's curved, and there you walk along the beach. There's a hotel there called Hotel Coronado, which is a very top hotel, 5 stars, but you can walk right in front of it. It's a very nice beach. We went in the winter and we went to Coronado and it was still nice. We were cold clothes and walked barefoot, and there's a main avenue on the island. You see lots of restaurants, lots of bars. Try to eat somewhere that's much more local, much tastier. We had a very good experience there, so try to get to know the island. It's really cool and close to Coronado Island. side is the Gaslamp Quarter, which is the area where I told you to stay. If you're there, you can get to know it in a few hours. If you want to have lunch or breakfast there, it's a very nice area. If you're not staying there, make the most of that day. Nearby, there's another place to visit in San Diego, the USS Midway Museum, which is a museum inside a gigantic aircraft carrier that was built in the Second World War, then retired and turned into a museum. So it's very cool. Even if you don't want to go in, it's not expensive, the ticket is very cheap. But even if you don't want to go inside, it's just worth going around and seeing the size of the aircraft carrier, which is very cool. And there's that famous statue of the Navy fighter kissing the nurse, which is really crazy. It's a gigantic statue. You can see it here in the pictures, guys. It's gonna show up for you here. I thought it was a romantic story. I saw that and thought, oh, how cool. It must be a guy who went to war, saved, won the war, and came back and found his great love. But then, researching to make the video at the time, I discovered that there's nothing to it. It actually happened in Times Square in New York after Japan surrendered and the United States won the war. A guy who was there, who was in the Navy, he went out in Times Square shouting and celebrating and kissed all the women. He kissed several women, but this was the first who was a nurse who was there. Then a photographer took the picture. It was so beautiful that they recreated it and made this statue. So there's nothing romantic about it. There was a lot of necking going on in the middle of Times Square, but it's worth telling the original story so that you know exactly when it happened and won't experience anything. A great region for those who like Italian food like me. I'm a Lorenzi. Lorenzi is very Italian, so we went to Little Italy, which is a very nice area. It's a delight to eat in. There are very Italian restaurants, very tasty. Just as every city has a Chinatown, here in the United States there is, which is the Chinese part. Sometimes there is the Japanese part. There's also almost everyone has the Italian part, and it's a delight. It's a great place to eat and get to know, and it's very close. And now we're gonna talk about many parks. First of all, an open park. Balboa Park is a gigantic and beautiful park. Set aside a good few hours of your day, a whole afternoon, a whole morning to see it because it's really beautiful. Inside, there are several museums, there are parks inside the park, fountains. It's a beautiful place for walking, cycling. If you like running shoes, go for a run there, get some training. It's very nice. It's a beautiful park, but it's big. You have to see it. Another very famous park there is SeaWorld. It's one of the most famous parks in the SeaWorld network in the world. It was one of the first. There's the whale show, the marine animals. There are several extreme roller coasters. There are controversies because of the animals that are there. There are people who don't like it. There are people who do. I'm just giving you the tourist information so you know it exists. If you're interested, this Balboa Park doesn't require a ticket, but this one at SeaWorld or Legoland that I'm about to mention, then you need to buy the tickets. There's a great website where we always buy the tickets. I'll leave it in the description of the video below. Check it out. It's the website for tickets, tours, and excursions. It's a very good website, one of the largest in the world, and it has all the tours and excursions to nearby cities, for wineries, for the beach, for everything. There are also the parks in Los Angeles with lots of nice things to buy. So take a look at the link here, as it's the cheapest and most reliable place, and they now sell in several currencies. So for example, if you use reais from Brazil, you can already buy the reais from Brazil and you don't pay the 6% tax that you would pay in an international transaction. It's already cheaper. It's an absurd saving and it's a trustworthy website. So take a look. There are all the tours there. And besides SeaWorld, there is one that I think it's even cooler than SeaWorld, which is Legoland. There is one here in Orlando close by. We've been here 3 times. The kids love it. If you have a small child, try to check it out. See how far it's from your hotel, but I think it's worth it. Legoland is incredible. It's a park that children have a lot of fun in. It's a Lego park with lots of attractions. It surprises us every time. We've been to Germany and Orlando. We haven't been there yet, but probably the next time we go to San Diego, now that we have Clarinha and Laurinha, we'll end up going there. And speaking of children, there is also Balboa Park, that giant park I told you about, which is open and beautiful. There are about 8 museums. The best for those with children is the Natural History Museum, just like the one in New York. There are dinosaur fossils, animals, the history of evolution. It's really cool. If you can, it's cheap too. It's worth it, and the kids love it. It's a great tour. And let's talk about beaches. We're talking about San Diego. San Diego has, in my opinion, the coolest beaches in California. I'll give you an extra tip. If you go to Los Angeles, try and stay in Laguna Beach. It's a town just up the road from Los Angeles. That's what we did. From San Diego, we went to Laguna Beach, and it was the city we liked the most. It was one of the smallest, but it has such a nice little beach. It's so charming. We liked the vibe of the place. We stayed for 2 days. It was a perfect choice. If you can do some exploring there, as it was a very nice beach that we found to stay on. It was warm, a very nice place, so take a look. But speaking of San Diego, there are several beaches there. La Jolla is the most famous. It's more difficult to get in. You have to look for the places where you can go, which is very nice for taking pictures of the sea lions. There are a lot of sea lions on the beach, so you can't access that part, but there are other parts that you can. One of the most visited beaches, there are two that are by far the most visited, Mission Beach and Pacific Beach. They are two very nice similar beaches. Before them there are those big parks, those parks with lawns. There's the beach promenade. You can stay there on the sand in peace. They are very beautiful beaches. Check the map to see which one is closest to you. They're all kind of that neighborhoods. That's why the Gaslamp Quarter is one of my favorite places to stay. It's very close to all these attractions, so take a look if you're interested. There's a nudist beach called Black's Beach. You don't have to be naked, but it's a nice beach to go to. We went for the first time and didn't get naked, but that's because it was cold. We went in jeans because we didn't even know we were going down there, but it's nice because it's a cliff. It's Black's Beach because the sand is black. It's a very beautiful beach. You stop the car up there, you go down a huge path under a cliff. It's a very cool vibe. There are people practicing nudism there, but it's not compulsory, not mandatory. If you want to see a different place, it's nice too, but we always try to recommend all the places so that you enjoy, you can choose whatever you like the most. So this is all the information. And another great tip is how to carry your dollars and make payments in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and California as a whole. We're making a lot of use of a global digital account, which are now dominating the market, and it's much cheaper than if you buy dollars the old-fashioned way by going to an exchange office or taking a credit card. Don't do it, you'll pay a lot more. Today's global accounts can be opened in 5 minutes with your ID. It's super easy. You have a dollar account, you can top it up with dollars at the commercial rate, which is much cheaper than the tourist rate you'd pay in other ways. And you have a tax of just 1.2% compared to 6.7% for credit cards. So forget the credit card, forget exchange office, and use global accounts. There's one we're using that's sensational. I'll leave the link here in the description for you to see. If you open it, we have a discount coupon that will give you up to $20 back on your first shipment over $200. It already asks for your physical card because you can already activate and have your card in the Apple Wallet or Google Wallet for you to use by swiping. We use it in California now. Everywhere, the airport, restaurants, shopping malls, everywhere. All the places already accepted it, but my tip is to ask for a physical card. It takes a few days to arrive, so ask for it as soon as possible. And then you also have your card to guarantee it and to make withdrawals. You arrive at the airport and go to an ATM, well, that's what they call here, and withdraw your dollars in cash at a better rate. Use the global account, which is much cheaper. You save a lot of money on the dollar rate, on buying the dollar, on taxes, on fees. It's undoubtedly the cheapest way today to use your money anywhere in the world, not just in the United States, guys. So be sure to open your global digital account so you can enjoy better the prices and rate of the dollar. Just as I did with this video, I've also just done the ones for Los Angeles and San Francisco, so if you're planning a big trip, watch these two as they're very up to date. I have a lot of videos here from California, but many I made 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I'm making an updated batch along with this one from San Diego, so check it out. It's very up to date. We just got back from there last week, so it's all really cool, guys. And here I'll leave the organized link below with all the links and websites we use to organize the whole trip. All the links, the ones that have the best prices, that we've already experienced, that we know are quality places and services, so you can put together an entire trip based on these links. You will see that you'll save a lot. Some links already have discount promotions included, guys, so save the page, use the page, and you have a much cheaper trip. Share with your friends, whoever's going with you, and prepare to save a lot. Yep, that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you like it, please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel because it really helps us a lot. And don't forget to watch the other videos, which are very good. I'm going to leave 2 others here with the unmissable videos for you to have in California. So thank you very much, guys, and have a nice trip.